in Glendale, Arizona.
Hello.
Commanders taking on...
Here's the former Auburn kicker Daniel Carlson to get this one started. And we are underway from Glendale. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So here are the Commanders making their way out. Bringing him out is the pride of North Dakota State. Now in his 7th NFL season, Carson Wentz.
And when you look at him, you see that he's got all the tools you want in a quarterback. The big frame, the quick release, strong arm, has escapability. The issue sometimes, tries to do too much instead of just taking the throws that are available to him, and occasionally turnovers get him into trouble.
Wentz to throw on the first play from scrimmage. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down. The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Wentz. And Thomas has it. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. A gain of 14, first down Commanders.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
He'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Wentz. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Wentz. Thomas brings it in. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 34-yard line. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Wentz now on first down. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Wentz. He gets it to Thomas. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And the top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him, and I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done.
Dotson has it. Touchdown, Commanders. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Commanders will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. They gotta love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Joey Sly on for the extra point. It's good, and Washington will take a 7-0 lead. That time, a 9-play drive. And it was Jahan Dotson with a touchdown catch to finish things off. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Abdullah's going to stay put, and the drive will start at the 25. The Raiders set to go to work behind their veteran quarterback, and that's Derek Carr.
And it certainly had taken Herbert long to earn his status as one of the league's best and most entertaining passers. Locked and loaded at every snap. And the second he sees an opening, that ball is soaring downfield. You better be on your toes against him on defense. The second you turn your head, he'll burn you.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now a first carry for Brandon Bolden. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing now is Carr. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Second and 2. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Darren Waller, 48 yards. And the Raiders are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it concludes with a touchdown reception by Darren Waller. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble to bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. A give up the middle to Gibson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 13 yards there at a Washington first.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
13 yards there on a Washington first.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
Play action. Now Wentz. Open man is the... And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Carr. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So pass interference, the call is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right, because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate. Just ask the basketball refs when they have to officiate block and charge.
Once again, it's Jacobs, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Working from the gun, it's Carr. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. These two teams all tied after 1. 2nd and 11. Here's Carr to throw. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Carr. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out in the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
From the 36, Carr. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is in running back drop.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Carr. And able to complete it to Moreau. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 22-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider 1st.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
A 2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? Now it's Bolden. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Here's Jacobs. Nifty move. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
Ball situated at the 9. 2nd and goal. Now Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Mac Hollins A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders have taken the lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Carlson now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. This is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Wentz bringing the Commanders up for 1st and 10 at their own 13. Wentz now to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he'll be taken down at the 18. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Now Wentz. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
And every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. Now, their last 2 drives, both ending in touchdowns. It's gotten them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap, allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
That big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. Well, right here, they're trying to make it 3 in a row. On the handoff, they start with Bolden. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Play action. Now it's Carr. Catch made. It's Moreau. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. It's caught, left side, Bolden. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st down, Carr. And he'll find Moreau here. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a draw play. This is Bolden. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 8, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. On 2nd and a couple. Carr, the quick slant caught. And the Raiders are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. They'll run it with Jacobs, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball? Or are we cool to do it here in football, pardon?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary. Or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they'll continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-7. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Well, Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Wentz now on 1st down. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
And not that the coach asked me, but I do like the call there to start the drive. Looking for something maybe to jumpstart this offense. And they decide to run a little screen play. Maybe give their running back a little bit of space. Mission accomplished. He turns that into good yardage and a quick 1st down.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Throw left side, complete. That's Thomas. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. And he'll go right back to Thomas. Complete again. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And now it's 3rd and 3.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Wentz to throw again. Able to connect with Dotson. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. forced out to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now, Wentz again. Thomas has got it, complete. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first. From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Wentz to the sideline on 4th down. Joey Sly is out there now for the Washington field goal.
Spotted at the left hash, this from 45.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So it was 4th and 1. They wind up taking the 3. But I'm not sure that offensive unit, judging by the sideline, Charles, was in 100% agreement with the decision.
No, not at all. But the head coach has final call on this. We know that. But let's face it, offenses want to feel like, hey, you believe in us? Let us go for it? We'll see if that is a problem for them moving forward in this game.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway.
And Abdullah will not try to bring it out.
Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Throwing on first down is Carr.
Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, with talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get him going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Carr looking deep for Adams.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Carr now to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted.
And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Shotgun now for Wentz. That's going to be caught by Samuel.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Throwing is Wentz. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back at the 38. Max Crosby, his 2nd sack of the night.
Partner, you know what I'm going to say before I even say it.
Yeah, you just cannot take a sack in that spot.
You're exactly right. You can't take a sack in that spot. Potentially now a 3-point swing right there.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And that'll make this an 8-point game.
Whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. Abdullah's going to stay put, and the drive will start at the 25. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw is Carr.
He's got Renfro on the out route.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Shotgun now for Carr. And he gets it to Bolden. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Carr going to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Bolden. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Carr. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. To throw, it's Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Bolden.
42 yards on the ground for him so far.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Operating from the gun, Carr. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Carr. And he wisely will throw that one away.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
So Carr exits on 4th down, and on comes Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good. And the lead now 11, 24-13. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. And the Washington offense heading out. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
Oh, wide open, complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms, because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves over. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was...
Well, Josh McDaniels, he had his mind made up on that one. He disagrees, and he'll throw the challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So Josh McDaniels ends up winning that challenge. Smart decision to review it. Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. On the draw, it's Gibson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Wentz to throw.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs.
Oh, he's got a little daylight.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 43 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now a play fake. Carr. He juked him. He hits Adams complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Into the red zone, it's Carr.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. It's a jet sweep. This is Renfro. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down.
Throwing now is Carr. That is caught inside the 5.
And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal.
Now a toss to the left for Jacobs. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. One more time with Jacobs. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. So a little extra time to ponder this 3rd and goal as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Jacobs.
They push forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Defense keeps him out of the end zone there. Now, will they go for it? And if so, can they do it one more time?
Yeah, I just don't know if it's worth it going for it, because what we've seen from the defense so far, every gap is taken care of. Everyone is sound in their coverage. No one is breaking free, and those ball carriers are getting tagged. If I were them, I'd think very hard about just taking 3 points and taking their dignity and moving on.
And the ball's at the 2, spotted at the 2, so a pretty good chunk to go. So Carr will depart, and on comes the Raider kicker Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Carlson able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. Was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Wentz bringing the Commanders up for 1st and 10.
At their own 26.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
41 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Throwing now is Wentz.
That's out to the flat for Gibson. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
From midfield, here's Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Washington on 3rd down.
They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
He completes this to Cole Turner.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 28. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score, because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Wentz. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders 16. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Into the red zone, Wentz.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington.
A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Commanders have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
Here's Carr to throw.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down.
He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 22. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now Carr again. And Bolden brings it in, complete.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
these guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10
at the 38. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. And the reception made over the middle. This is Bolden.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 23.
A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Carr now on first down. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here. These last few plays, they have moved right down the field. And just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Carr.
And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown.
Making 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr.
And the Raiders have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter. And, Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yes, multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone. A perfect plan on how to utilize him best when they get in close.
Carlson on for the PAT. And the lead is up to 14. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays.
And it concludes with a touchdown reception by Darren Waller.
The touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Taken at the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Now Wentz.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Washington on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. Wentz going to throw. And that is incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
Now Wentz, gotta have this one.
Winds up and lets it go for Samuel.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
So on 4th down, a big-time completion. And the defense, they've got to be shaking their heads right now.
Not only shaking their heads, but understand that they committed one of those cardinal sins that they say they can't do at any time. They committed an eye violation, had their eyes in one place, and allowed the deep ball behind them.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Again, it's Wentz.
On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wentz now to throw.
Complete. It's Dodson.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, it's Wentz.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
Wentz to throw for it on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now Carr.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
And this defense definitely in his head there on third down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
Here's A.J. Cole now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. So Wentz and the Commanders
down by 2 touchdowns. 1:44 to go. Field goals, useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. Wentz now on first down.
Gets this to Gibson.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Back to Gibson and another catch for him. Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts
as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Over the middle, it's Thomas.
And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Wentz to throw again. And a loose football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout.
As it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the second time. It's taken to the 26.
A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared, but executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.